day. From Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, this is the National Football League.
Just about time to rock as toe gets ready to meet leather. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now it's Marino. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Here's Marino. And he comes back with one complete. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. It's a gain of 6, but not enough as he'll be forced to punt on their first drive of the game.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. And we get a glance at their leader in the huddle, the veteran in his 9th season now in the league. Now this will go for 5 up to the 33.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
They'll run on 1st down. Curry. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
6 yards left on 2nd down. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball, pick up the first down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short. That's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school smash mouth football. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Hands it off out of the gun. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Looking to throw. Dill. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
On 2nd down now, it's Curry. Good foot will be brought down at the 27-yard line. Well executed there on 2nd down, so do you go back to the air on 3rd?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a 2nd time.
From the gun on 3rd down, Dill. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Now a handoff here to his running back. He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
Someone's looking fresh, and his O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain too.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Colts are going to take a first-quarter lead.
Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Point after here coming up. And this is good to make it 7-0 Indy. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
I can't believe they even let you play.
On 2nd and 7, Marino. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Marino off of play action.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. Who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
2nd and 10 now. Marino. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Here's Marino to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. He's got a man complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there. 71 yards. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point forthcoming. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action. Now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kept it on the ground.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Back to throw. Dill. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Seven, our score after 1. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Dill. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And the return will stop right around the 25. Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass. It's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down.
Here's a handoff out of the gun.
It's a 7-yard gain that gets him back to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
On 3rd down, Marino. He's got the hook up to Floyd. And he'll be stopped short of the 1st down right around the 18-yard line. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
So on now the field goal team for Philadelphia. This one from 35 yards away. And his kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So a good kick there. They put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow.
Either
Not
way.
the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Taking it about the 1. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with the run so far. On second down, it's Curry, and he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The Colts on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This time they face a 3rd and 2. On third down, Curry, and he fumbled it. It's on the ground, and it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return, and an Eagle touchdown. And maybe that's the perils of being a rookie running back in the NFL. I mean, look, it's not easy to hold on to the ball at any level with these talented guys, but in this league, you can learn a lesson early.
Without a doubt, and what a tough reminder for any running back, especially a rookie. The things you got away with in college probably won't work so well in the NFL.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football. We witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. Looking for a bounce back, had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter, finished with over 300 yards on the night, later ended up in the NFL. If you've got a talented back, give it back to him.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in second and long yardage.
First play of the drive, lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Back to throw. Dill. James has got it. Complete.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
The Colts on third down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, Dill.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on third down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Escapes the defender. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Play fake. Here's Marino. Now he steps away. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
Now that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3-and-out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a first down.
Marino on play action. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Yates. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
On first down, Floyd. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. And to give this time to the tailback. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Marino will throw. And that's incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Now Marino to throw it. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead.
There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Taking it about the 1. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off at the 35. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
Marino's incompletion on 1st down leads to 2nd and 10.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll wind up picking up about 4 as that is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Reminder coming up in a couple of minutes' time, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman, the coach in our EA Sports studios. They'll have a look back at the next-gen stats from this first half of action. And they'll get this down to the 10.
A lot of deflated looks on that defense. It seems like they just cannot find a way to get a key stop on third down. Here's another conversion, and now this offense, they're in a position to go up even further as they've got it first and goal.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal. Now Marino. This is caught. Touchdown, Eagles. From 10 yards out. And the Eagles are able to add on to their first half lead.
You know, in golf, they often talk about playing the course and not worrying about what the other players are doing, what their scores are. That's essentially what we're seeing from this offense. They're just having fun and doing what they feel like doing today.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And the lead is now 24. A drive there of just 4 plays. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
This taken in at the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Back in the first quarter, you said it, they need to avoid the big play, but he just got a big one right there.
You can't relax. You know, we talked about in the first quarter, but as the game progresses, still opportunities, and he took advantage of one there.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. On first and 10, Dill. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. So first and 10 now from the 30. Operating from the gun, Dill. He finds his man, complete. That's James. That catch good for only a couple.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch and turn upfield and pick up the first down.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Well, that's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
So on third down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. They'll spot it at the 30, so this is a 40-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So time perhaps for one final kneel down before they take this lead to the locker room. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman.